Hi, I'm Jim Gary and welcome to Penelope's Workshop. In this video, I'm continuing a complete refurbishment of the brake system in my 25-year-old Workhorse-based motorhome. In the last video linked below, I realized that I needed to delete the ABS system from my brakes because required parts are no longer available. So in this video, I removed the ABS module and I replaced it with a proportioning valve that at least will balance the braking force between the front and the rear brakes. And please remember, I'm a biologist, not a mechanic. I'm showing you what I did, not what I think you should do. So please consult with a professional mechanic before doing any brake work. As always, I welcome any comments or suggestions you might have. If you found this video interesting, there are links to my other videos in the description below. So please like and subscribe. Now let's get on with the video. In order to remove the ABS unit, I first need to remove all 5 brake lines that lead to and from the unit. And you may have seen this before in my previous videos. All the brake lines have a flexible section right near the ABS, and they all enter on the left side of the unit, which is mounted on a frame crossbeam just forward of the engine. 3 of the lines are longer. One goes to the left front caliper and the others go to the master cylinder. And then there's 2 very short ones that just go to nearby junctions, which lead to the right front caliper and to the rear drum brakes. Here we're looking forward at the ABS unit that's mounted on the frame crossbeam that's just in front of the engine. So here's the next thing I have to do. These bolts here have to come out because they're attached to the plate that this thing is mounted to. And I could take off these bolts here. There's one here and one here, and similar thing on the other side. Or I could take off these. I'm not sure which first. But let's start with this electric wire. This looks just like positive and negative going in. So I'm going to be careful. I got to put a cap on that because that's got to be pretty thick wire. So that runs the power to the computer, I suppose. They appear to be 1/2 inch, but I'm going to go get some WD-40 and then I'm going to take our penetrating oil and I'm going to get these off. So here's looking from the rear at the ABS unit, which is to the right in this video, and there's a blue connector here. So I'm going to pop that loose. There it comes. I believe that was probably the wheel speed sensor from the left side. I'm not sure. So here's wires on the forward right side. So I'm going to try to remove them. Well, I can't do it with one hand, so I'll come back when I get it off. Here's those 2 wires, bundles of wires I took off. All I had to do was to pull this black tab out and then just jerk on it really hard and the whole thing came right out. And you can see what it looks like where it came out from. So the next trick would be to unbolt the ABS unit. So here's the 2 bolts I'm going to try to take out. They're not tight. They're on some kind of a shock mount. The trouble is my wrench is so long, it's hard to get it in here. So a 13mm wrench did the trick instead of a 1/2 inch. I guess it's just a little bit different. It's coming loose, so I'll go ahead and do all that off camera. Okay, I got that 1 bolt out, and this one I can get out too. It just has on a little rubber bushing, and so you have to jiggle it a little bit to get it loose. And again, I can't hold the camera and I can't get the camera set right, so I'll just show you that. So it's coming off pretty well. It's really loose. I just can't get my fingers around it. But I'll get it out and come back. So I've got this side loose. There's the bolt with the little bushing that was around it. And the whole unit's loose on this side. So all I have to do is go get the other bolt off on the other side, and I think I'll just be able to slide it right out. So now I'm in the front, and this is the front of the ABS, and I just got to get that bolt right there out. And it's on a bushing just like the other side, so it shouldn't be too hard. So I got the bolt loose. Here it is out. There's the bushing, and here's the bolt. So I believe this unit should just slide out. Yep, I think it will. So we're going to go around to the back side. I think there's more room there. So here we are. Here's the ABS unit. Let's see if we can't squeeze it out. Oh, and there it is. There she is. So let's take it out on the bench and have a look. when there's all that great space that's now empty. So here's the thing when it's out. It's actually really heavy. I was surprised. So here's the two valves that you can hold with that special tool. Here's the other two. You can hold the valves with that special tool. And that tool is this. So the idea is you could just put that in there and then you could hold this so it can't move by tightening this down. So hopefully I'll be replacing it with a proportioning valve. I've got my Hercules Ultra Torque impact wrench on the nut and a regular wrench on the bolt on top. Move on to the next one. Right off. It's really nice to have a powerful impact driver like this. Okay, here goes third one. And then I get the last one, and then we should be able to slide this top piece out, I think. So that's the last bolt. Now let's see if this piece would just slide out. That would be ideal. Yep. There we go. Just a mounting plate. I'm going to clean it up, and then I can mount my portioning valve to the fittings. This is that bracket, and I just I degreased it, and then I wire brushed it, but there still seems to be some rust on it. So I've got my pneumatic needle gun, and it's just got these metal rods that go in and out with air. And I used to work in a shipyard back in my 20s, and I did a lot of rust removal on ships. And I used these probably for 3 or 4 months straight every day for a while there. So let's get it started and see what happens. These are really good because they often, if you just wire brush, you just polish the rust on the metal where there's rust underneath, and these needles really do a good job getting it. So in the shipyard, we'd chip with the chipping hammer first to get the big chunks off, and then we'd use this needle gun, and then we'd finally go to wire brushes before we'd prime. So it turns out I've done a pretty good job with the wire brushing and all, so I think it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and spray it down with cold galvanizing spray. I used these needle guns when I did my 1948 Triumph Roadster restoration. I spent days laying underneath it. First I degreased and de-dirted the frame because it was so old. All the frame components had at least half an inch of grease and dirt embedded on them. So I scraped all those off, used a ton of degreaser, and then to get the actual rust off I used the same gun. And they sell them at Harbor Freight, and they're not even that expensive, and you can buy the needle recharge refills because you eventually wear these down. But anyway, if you have a lot of heavy rust on heavier metal, needle guns are great. They don't work on light sheet metal, of course, they're just dented. So I'm a big fan of cold galvanizing compound. It's just a zinc-rich paint, and the nice thing is the zinc will oxidize before the steel will. So when you put this on, it not only acts as a barrier to prevent the steel from rusting, it also will go first, so it acts as a protectant in many much better ways. So I just spray some on, and it a lot of the paint companies don't like it because not every paint will stick to it. So a lot of them say don't use it, but I use it, and I've never had trouble with paints not sticking to it. But I usually use it on thicker metal that's like under the chassis or something. And if you've watched my other videos, you've seen that. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to turn it over and do the other side, and then we'll go ahead and mount the proportioning valve to it. So here's that metal plate, and this is right where the ABS unit sat with the hoses coming in from this side. And what I've done is I've put bolts through, so these will go through that cross piece, and I'll be able to bolt them on the underside. I had made some aluminum spacers, but then it turns out the nut's easier because it stays in place. So this will just drop in, and I'll be able to bolt it to that cross member pretty easily. This is the end result I want. The front of the vehicle is to the left in this photo. The proportioning valve will be attached to the plate via the mounting bolts shown in yellow. The inputs from the master cylinder come from the right side in this photo, and outputs to the brakes out the left side in this photo. The front rear adjustment knob is to the right, and the brake lamp connector is at the bottom. I'll need to make posts to fit between the plate and the valve so it will be up off the mounting bracket. First, I've got some 3/4 inch stock, and I'm going to face it off, and then I'm going to drill it, first with the center drill and then with a 1 size over 5/16 to allow the mounting bolt to go through as well. So that's faced off nicely. Now I put the center drill bit in. That looks about right. And this is actually a 21/64, which is just a shade over 5/16, so that's perfect. So that's good and tight. Slide this in. Now I need to mark the bracket where I'll drill the holes for the proportioning valve mounting bolts. There, so we're going to have a 5/16 hole there. And this is actually 21/64, just to give me a little wiggle room. Okay. So then this will go in here. Perfect. This will come down here. So let's put the other spacer in. There we go. Put the washer, lock washer, and the nut. There, we've got a nice firm connector. So now I just got to put this back in so I can figure out how to route the hoses, so I can have the hoses made the way they need to be for now. So this is where the front of the master cylinder runs into. This is where the rear of the master cylinder runs into. These are where the rear brakes come in, go out, and this is where the 2 front brakes go out. I'm going to go back underneath the RV and drop this in and bolt it down. So here we are again. This is the cross member from the frame, and where my hand is now is where the mounting bracket's going to go. So I'm going to mount it up there. So it's settled down, and so I'm just going to hand tighten these nuts and bolts just to keep it from moving around, but I likely have to take this out again before we're finished. So these bolts aren't really long. I think I'm just not going to put in a regular washer. I don't think I need them since they fit so closely. Just put in the lock washer. I had to put the valve out back because there's a cover plate that goes in front, and I had to make it in a fairly easily accessible place because remember that there's an anti-sway bar that sits just behind the cross member, but I think I'll be able to reach the knob once the anti-sway bar is reinstalled. Removing the ABS module and installing the Willwood proportioning valve in its place wasn't really too bad. But I still need to modify all the brake hoses to fit the new valve, install them, and perhaps finally bleed the brakes successfully. That will be in an upcoming video. I've put links to the other motorhome related videos I've done below. And anyway, thanks for watching. If you're interested in similar videos, please like and subscribe. Bye.